Hey, guys. Bless up, everybody. This is yours truly, Empress Chazzy Warmington, aka All That Chaz, aka Lupus Slayer. Wanted to talk to you guys about decluttering your spirits, your mind, your emotions. Um, that's something that we're not taught, a lot of us, especially spirituality. You know, you go to the church and they always just want you to pray, speak in tongue, travail, and all of that stuff. And that's not going to work. It does not work. It makes you feel good for a moment. You know, just same thing as how people get their fix when they get high. You know, people get their fix when they get drunk. And some people get their fix when they do drugs or, they do other things. They have that high. But once that high come down, they're still dealing with the reality of life. And those scars and that hurt and that pain, that disappointment, the regrets, all of those things are still lingering. The pain that they endure from the abuse, the psychological trauma and pain is still there. And then you got a lot of people, they jump from relationship to relationship. Hi, thanks for watching. I don't know. I can't hardly see who's watching. Let me see. It's beautiful out. I know I'm not supposed to be in this heat, but I'm doing it anyway. Hey, Tamika K. Thanks for watching. So, we've been taught wrong for the longest of time on how to, quote unquote, deal with, emotional stress and trauma and stuff. And you got more people in these spiritual synagogues that has, a lot of trauma and emotional issues and mental issues than anywhere. And why is that? When it seems like, okay, they go to church every day, not every day, but every Sunday. Some people, they go to church every time the door is open, no matter what the church is having. If they just cleaning up the church, or if the pastor just going to go there to the church just to check on stuff. Some people, as long as the church is open, they're going to go. And they be the most spiritually damaged and contaminated people ever. And what happens is, throughout our lives, we come in contact with people who have been in contact with other people, who have been in contact with other people, and so forth and so on. And we don't know what kind of spirits, what kind of issues those people may have been dealing with, or that person has dealt with or is dealing with. Because a lot of people don't talk about trauma, because we wasn't taught to talk about trauma. I know for me, I was never taught about trauma. Me was taught to pray, to fast. Oh, give it to the Lord, give it to God. They had to work it out. And I was still sick mentally. I was still sick spiritually. I was still sick emotionally. And the reason why is because I was never taught how to declutter my spirit. I was never taught how to declutter my emotions. I was never taught how to declutter my mind. What I was taught is to pray about it, give it to God, and don't worry about it no more. That doesn't work. Because no matter how much you try to ignore it, get over it, or whatever, when you have been abused, when you have been hurt so badly, when you have been betrayed so badly, everybody don't just get over that kind of hurt so easily. It's not a quick fix. It's not a quick remedy. It's not something that you can put ointment on or stitch up and it be done and over with. And then so you got people, I can say this from myself, I used to go from relationship to relationships because I was so empty inside and I was trying to fill a void that I didn't even know what the void was. I didn't understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling. I didn't understand why I was having so many emotional struggles and issues and why I was so just seem to be so desperate for quote unquote love, to feel wanted, to feel affectionate, to feel valued. I was never taught how to cope with things. I was never taught how to. I just was not taught about, decluttering my spirit and my mind and my emotions. And yes, you do need to have a spiritual foundation with that. But with that spiritual foundation, it's not about shouting, jumping, hooping, and hollering, and all of that stuff. It's not about that. Because if it was, then every person who has gone to church and have done that would not be experiencing the same psychological issues or mental struggles and mental issues they've been dealing with for the longest of time. So, I don't know whose stuff this is. Somebody dropped that whole baby bag or something? Dang, okay. Let's drop the baby bag. They don't even care. Let the baby food go. Huh. Hey, how are you, young man? But, yeah, so you got people who are still struggling with emotional issues because they don't know how to process their emotions. They don't know how to place their emotions and their feelings when they experience certain things in life because they were never taught. They were never shown this is how you handle it. And one thing about handling it is not trying to deny that it exists. You have to confront whatever it is that is bothering you, whatever you're struggling with, whatever that has hurt you, whatever got you traumatized, whatever has caused you any kind of hurt and pain, mentally, psychologically, and spiritually. You have to confront it. You can't pray over it. You can't just pray and be like, okay, God's going to come and He's going to fix it. It doesn't work that way. It's a process, and there's things that you have to do. There's steps that you have to take to resolve those issues on your, for yourself, because we have been taught for so long to let other people intervene for us and to help us and to give us the strength that we need and to give us the solace that we need. But what happens if you don't have anybody to do that for you? Then what you're going to do? You're just going to sit there and suffer? You're going to sit there and just, try to cope with it the best way you can? No, you don't have to just cope with it. You don't want to just cope with it. You want to actually have it nipped in the bud where you are the one who is actually in control of your thoughts, of your mind, of your feelings, instead of your feelings and your thoughts and your mind having control over you. Because when that happens, you're doomed to fail. You're doomed to find yourself repeating the same cycles. And it took me a very long time to learn that because, like I said, I was never taught these things. I was just taught religion. I was taught religion. And I don't knock anybody who uses religion because I have seen where it has worked for some people. Not too many. Not too many. I've seen a lot of people that pretended like it works, but really deep inside and in the depths of their heart and their spirit, they were still messed up. They were still contaminated. They were still struggling with the same emotional issues they had been dealing with since they was a little girl or a little boy. They still haven't gotten over the abuse, hurts, and the pain. With a lot of times, people don't get over the hurt and the pain from abuse that they suffer and endure. But it doesn't have to control their lives. And what happens often, you have people that goes from relationship. You got men that go from women to women, or some men to men. And same thing, you got some women go from men to men, and then you got some women that go from women to women because they are not dealing with what's going on with their inner self. because they don't know how. They don't know where to start. They don't know where to begin because nobody has taught them and nobody is trying to teach them. What people are doing is trying to preach to them. They're trying to dictate to them. They're trying to be their counselor, their psyche, or their therapist, and they're just as content. The people who usually be trying to do that are just as messed up in their minds and spirit themselves. So they're trying to take their contamination and push it off on you. And I'm just like, no, you're not going to push your contamination off on me. But this is what we constantly deal with because we are not taught any other way. We're not taught better. I'm sorry, I'm looking all rough and stuff. I didn't put on no kind of makeup, and I'm still half asleep, but I don't care. But yeah. So we got people who are contaminated and messed up, who are trying to guide other people who are contaminated and messed up. And it never works that way. It never ever works out. It never ever works out. You have to be realistic with yourselves, and I think people are so afraid to face the reality about themselves because they feel like it degrades them. I don't care if you used to be a prostitute. So what? Okay, what are you doing with your life now? What do you desire to do? What effort and are you making now? Okay, you used to be a promiscuous guy. You used to go out here, whore yourself around. All right, so are you still doing that now? All right, what has changed that caused you to want to now be better and do better with your life? Don't allow things that you have been through dictate who you are. Don't allow what people say about you to dictate who you are, because a lot of people who always got so much negative stuff to say about people and always want to speak damnation on people and try to tell them that you're not going to be this, you're not going to be that. Many of those are just so miserable themselves, and that's how they were treated, and they can't see anybody else's vision because they can't even see their own. They can't support anybody else in their vision because they don't know how to support nobody else in their own, or themselves in their own vision. They don't even have a vision. So, you're going to have a lot of that kind of stuff going on. But again, you don't allow that to dictate who you are as a person. You don't allow that to contaminate you as a person and validate you or give you identity. Don't even let it give you any kind of identity. It should not define you at all, because I'm going to tell you something. As long as you live, you're going to go through stuff. We all going to always experience things in life. And no matter, you don't have to put yourself in no kind of situation. Trouble will find you. Especially when you're on the right track and you're doing good, trouble will find you. Because that's just the way it is in nature. It's like this invisible force that wants to, I wouldn't even say block you, but it's just sometimes I think things happen to see how badly you really want it. Because a lot of times people be like, oh, I want to be a doctor. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. But do you really want to be that? Or are you just saying that? Because if you really want to be that, you want to be challenged. You want to be challenged in it. So some way, somehow, something's going to come out in your life that's going to challenge you to see if that's really what you want to do. Because we can say all day long, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be this, I want to be that. Oh, really? Okay. When life happens, you're going to find out whether or not that's what you really want. And a lot of times we bite off more than we can chew. We think that it's going to be so easy because it seems like everybody else around you or that seems to like, dang, she came up easy. He came up easy. Oh, I can easily do that. Then when you do it, it doesn't be that simple. It doesn't be that cut and dry. So you start now, all those emotional issues that you never dealt with will start surfacing up. You start feeling some kind of way. You start feeling distressed. You start feeling depressed. You start feeling like all hope is gone. And that's because you're trying to do something that is not you. Because you still don't know who you are yet. You still don't know your identity. So you're trying to find your way through. It's like walking in the dark. You're in the woods and you're walking in the dark. It's already dark out, but now you're in the woods and you really don't even know where you're going. And you're just trying to feel your way through, hoping that you'll come out successful, hoping you'll come out in a prosperous manner. But, I do not want people to get a false sense of hope and reality. And I know for me, I was taught that for so many years, and it took a long time for me to get out of that. Hi, Terry. How are you? Hey, Kitty Cat. How are you? Thanks, ladies, for watching. It took me a long time to get out of that because for so many years I remember from childhood even up to a lot of parts of my adulthood where I had people was always so much damnation on me. Oh, if you don't do this, it's not going to happen. Oh, if you don't, and then being abused, going through abuse too. That was another thing. I had been through so much, not just physical abuse, but sexual abuse, psychological abuse. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't deal with it and you don't know how to deal with it, it does come back and hunt you and bite you in the ass. It does. You start having dysfunctional relationship. You start attracting dysfunctional people who want to be in your life, want to be, part of your circle. It goes from one facet to another, and then you're just trying to figure out, like, dang, how is it that I keep finding myself in these kind of relationships? Why am I always finding myself with these dysfunctional people? Because even though you did not intentionally try to attract it, because you never dealt with what you was dealing with or have dealt with in your life, especially during the earliest stages of your life, you find yourself just going with the flow instead of dealing with what's actually been bothering you. You just live it day by day, going with the flow. It's almost like you're a robot, that you're being programmed to think this way, to feel this way, to live this way, to go about your business this way. So, for you, you feel like, okay, I'm making progress. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm going to survive this. I'm going to make it through. When in essence, you're actually worse than where you were before. And now you're just trying to play up. And so I would just say this. If you have been in a situation where you have just been taught so much deceitful stuff and you have had people speak so much damnation upon you, you have the right, you have the absolute right to denounce all of that. You have the right to break free from all of that. You don't have to stay in prison to what somebody else says about you. I don't care if it's spiritual leaders or whatever. And that's why for me, well, that's not even the base reason. The base reason I just don't do church is because I know the reality. I know history. I understand it. I understand what these different religions are about. I understand it's still all a scam. It's still all a cult. And I mean, and I tell people all the time, don't take my word for it. Do your real research. And I'm going to tell you, I struggle with that emotionally and psychologically for so long, because the things that I was finding out, I just couldn't believe it. And it's like, it took me a long time. It took me several years to actually accept it. And because the truth is just the truth, especially when you're constantly seeing it, you're living it. And it's just like, if you're being abused, sexually abused, no matter how much you try you could go to church all you want to and shout and scream and speak in tongues. That doesn't change the fact that once you finish doing all of that and you go home, you're going to have to deal with that predator that has been sexually abusing you, or or deal with it sometimes during the week. And so psychologically, it's really hard to process certain things as being true, because the truth always really hurt, and people run from the truth quicker than they run from a lie. People will accept a lie quicker than they accept the truth, and that's just the reality of it, because that's the way society has designed it. You got to think about a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world, the way things we've been taught. Look at the school system. Look at these institutions. Majority of them have been established on lies. They started on lies. This nation in the USA has been established on the backbone of slaves, of people who was kidnapped and forced into slavery, and lies and deceit. You know, so how do you expect for the same people who brought you into lies teach you anything else other than lies, when that's what they do? That's their thing. That's what they do for themselves. They like to live in deceit. They like to live in la la land. They like to live in fiction, and falsehood. So what make you think that they're going to teach you truth and bring you to truth? Now they're going to keep you in lies, because the thing about it, when you're blind and you don't know the truth, it's not going to affect you, and you're just going to bow down to it. But once you learn the truth about things and your eyes become open, people can't deceive you like that, and they can't take advantage of you, and they can't control you when you know the truth. And I don't care what nobody say. A lot of people are still in denial about this now, because people have tunnel vision. They don't even realize they're living in a lie. They'll see even the things that I'm saying. They'll be like, she don't know what she's talking about. She's lying. I'm not listening to that, especially talking about religion and stuff. I'm not listening to that. That's just like the devil. Always got his little workers and imps trying to make you have disbelief in God and all of this stuff. No, I'm not trying to make you have no disbelief in anything. What I want you to do is learn to live in reality and not in la la land, because too many people are walking around here spiritually broken, psychologically damaged, because they are and have been living in lies and deceits. And then you got some places where if you don't accept their lies, they will actually kill you. Like they're like, oh, you don't speak against our beliefs and our religion and stuff. Especially what's that? This science, whatever that mess is. They actually would flatten people's tires. It's on TV. This is real stuff. They flatten reporters' tires that was exposing them for who they are. And people who used to be caught up in that, they start telling the truth about what really anything about it. We be knowing the truth. We knowing the truth about things. But because I don't know what it is. It's something about separating ourselves from lies and embracing the truth. It's such struggle for a lot of people. It's such a struggle, especially psychologically. It's psychologically hard for people to separate themselves from a lie and accept truth. And believe you me, I overstand because I went through that. I struggled with it for years, and even still to date, to be honest about it, I'm not going to even sit up here in front. Sometimes, I find myself even thinking like maybe I over exaggerated, maybe it wasn't what it says, and I go back and do more research again and really look things up. And I'm not talking about through third-party websites. A lot of stuff that I find out that is a lot of that has been lies and deceit is actually on the government's websites. It's on Library of Congress.gov. It's on USA.gov. It's on these governmental websites and platforms. Like, they are telling you, this is what we did. This is how we manipulated you all. This is what happened during slavery. This is how we kidnap people, and they're telling you what happened. But I think it'd be so hard it's such a hard pill for us to swallow, so hard for us to psychologically process that and believe that and accept it, that it's best to just ignore it and pretend like it's not true, or that, we're just feeling some kind of way right now and we'll feel better later on or in the morning, that things aren't as bad as it seems to be, so I don't know. It's just, so, it's just one of those situations, and it's really sad that we have been taught so many lies throughout our lives. And I'm not talking about just religion, even with family. You have families that sit up there and lie to you. They'll have you believe in someone is your biological dad and it's not your dad, or your mom is not your mom. You got family stuff that goes on in family where the father don't rape daughter and got her pregnant, so you find out that your mom is actually your sister as well as your mother. It's just a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of crap that people be taught in lies that they've been taught throughout their whole lives. So they don't even know the truth when it bites them right in the ass. They're still not going to even know it. And it's just a hard reality, truth that is, for people to accept. So all I'm just saying and trying to encourage everyone, do not just believe the hype. Don't deprive yourself of happiness. Don't deprive yourself of joy. Don't deprive yourself of knowing and learning the truth. I don't care who else doesn't like it, who else has a problem with it. You have to live for you. And believe you and me, if anybody who gets mad at you for learning the truth, embracing the truth, and living the truth, they don't have your best interest in heart, and they're still blinded themselves. Some people are comfortable and content with living in lies and deceit because it makes them feel better, and they don't have to apply themselves to become a better person. They don't have to apply themselves to not just learn better, but to even be better. And some people don't want to grow. They don't want to be better people. Don't let those type of people hold you back, because I'm telling you, I have had to let go so many people throughout my life, it doesn't even make no sense. I can count just really on 4 fingers, real, true, honest friends, that's been there for me through thick and thin, and that I can truthfully rely on, that I know will have my best interests at heart, that I know would tell me the truth even if I don't like it. They're not going to hold back. They're not going to deceive me and tell me what I want to hear. They're going to tell me what I need to hear. And those are the kind of people you need in your life. So I hope you guys were able to, give me your feedback. Let me know what you all feel and think about it, because just because I say something doesn't make me right, nor does it make me wrong. But I do like to hear other people's, input about things, because, like I said, I don't have all the answers. I'm going day by day, living day by day. So give me your feedback and what you feel about it, okay? Thanks for watching. Job bless, one love. I got so. My hands too full. Can you close the thing out? Okay, y'all, my hands too full. I can close this live out. That's fun. Y'all just like to see it to light up here at the countertop. Because I got it big because I didn't want to get too much stuff. But as you all see, I'm neck up with stuff in my hands, right?